Breaking: Roman Reigns just made the most explosive return in WWE history, and what I discovered about his next move will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about the Bloodline. You're not going to believe what just happened behind the scenes, and trust me, this gets insane. Let me take you back to last night's Monday Night Raw, a night that will go down in WWE history. The WWE Universe thought they were getting a regular episode, but what they got instead was an earth-shattering moment that nobody saw coming. Roman Reigns, the original tribal chief, made his return after months of absence, but sources close to the situation are now revealing that this wasn't just a comeback, this was a declaration of war. Here's what we know for sure: Roman Reigns stormed that ring like a man possessed, taking out Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker to save Jey Uso and CM Punk. The official story is that Roman simply couldn't stand by and watch his family get destroyed. But here's what they're not telling you: multiple sources backstage confirm that Roman's return was months in the planning, and what happened last night was just phase one of something much bigger. Think about it. Doesn't it seem suspicious that Roman appeared at the exact moment when Seth Rollins' faction was at their strongest? This wasn't coincidence, people. This was strategy. And it gets worse. According to industry insiders, Roman's hiatus after WrestleMania 41 wasn't because he was defeated by Seth Rollins' faction. Sources reveal that Roman was actually building something in the shadows, recruiting, planning, and preparing for the ultimate takeover. Now, you might be thinking, but he looked genuinely surprised by the attack. But wait until you hear this. Leaked backstage footage shows Roman having secret meetings with key WWE personnel weeks before his return. Before I continue with this explosive revelation, I need to know, are you Team Roman or Team Solo Sikoa? Because after what I'm about to reveal, you might change your mind completely. Let me know in the comments, because your responses to my last Bloodline video were absolutely insane, and I read every single one. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is where my exclusive sources come in. Remember Solo Sikoa's takeover of SmackDown? The way he claimed the tribal chief mantle seemed organic, right? Wrong! Behind-the-scenes documents that I've gotten my hands on reveal that Roman allowed Solo to take control of the blue brand. Why? Because Roman was setting up the ultimate chess move. Think about it logically. Roman Reigns, the master manipulator, the head of the table, would never just let his cousin take over without a plan. And when you add the fact that Jey Uso has been fighting Solo's faction alone, suddenly everything clicks into place. Roman wasn't absent. He was watching, waiting, and most importantly, recruiting. Here's the part that nobody's talking about. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, hasn't been randomly destroying people on SmackDown. Sources close to the Anoa'i family reveal that Jacob has been in constant contact with Roman throughout his hiatus. Every brutal attack, every dominant performance, it was all building toward this moment. And that's when everything changed, and this is the part that will blow your mind. Last night's return wasn't just Roman coming back, it was the launch of the most dangerous faction WWE has ever seen. My sources confirm that Roman Reigns is about to form a new bloodline that will make the original look like child's play. Picture this: Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, Jey Uso as his right-hand enforcer bringing the crowd connection, Jacob Fatu as the unstoppable monster who destroys everything in his path, and here's the kicker: Jey Uso stepping into the Paul Heyman role as the strategic mastermind. This isn't just a reunion, this is an evolution. The fallout was immediate backstage. WWE officials are reportedly in panic mode because they know what's coming. Solo Sikoa's faction on SmackDown? They're about to face their worst nightmare. Seth Rollins' crew on Raw? They just poked the bear, and that bear is about to maul them. But here's the part that nobody's talking about. This new bloodline isn't just targeting other factions, they're coming for everything. This could mean the complete restructuring of both Raw and SmackDown. If this new bloodline is as dominant as my sources suggest, it would explain why WWE has been so hesitant to book strong challengers recently. They've been preparing for this. And honestly, I think we're just seeing the beginning of the most dominant era in WWE history. The implications are staggering. SummerSlam 2025 could feature not one, but 3 massive Bloodline matches. Roman and his new faction could simultaneously wage war on Raw against Seth Rollins' crew and on SmackDown against Solo Sikoa's group. We're talking about a 2-front war that could reshape the entire WWE landscape. Now, I'm not saying this is definitely what's going to happen, but the evidence is overwhelming. Consider this. Why would Roman save CM Punk, someone he has no real connection to? Unless CM Punk is also part of this master plan. Think about it, Punk's been targeting Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, but what if that's just a smokescreen? If this theory is correct, it would explain why Jacob Fatu has been so dominant on SmackDown. He's been softening up Solo's faction for Roman's eventual takeover. It would explain why Jey Uso has been fighting alone, because Roman wanted him to struggle, to prove his loyalty before bringing him into the New Order. And here's the most shocking possibility. What if Paul Heyman's absence isn't permanent? What if the wise man returns not to serve Roman but to oppose him, backing Solo Sikoa instead? The student versus the teacher, with the entire Anoa'i family legacy hanging in the balance. You guys have been asking me for weeks about when Roman would return, and many of you predicted in the comments that it would be bigger than just a simple comeback. Well, you were right. As I told you in my last video about Solo Sikoa's rise, something didn't add up about how easily he took control. Now we know why. It was all part of Roman's master plan. Remember when I said that the Bloodline story wasn't over? That there were too many loose threads? This is exactly what I was talking about. The pieces are finally coming together, and it's more explosive than any of us imagined. Hold on to your seats for this next part, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you see everything that's happened in the past 6 months. You're not ready for what I discovered about Roman's secret meetings during his hiatus. This next revelation will blow your mind, and it involves someone you would never expect. Brace yourself, because this conspiracy goes deeper than just WWE. It involves family betrayals, corporate politics, and a power struggle that could destroy the Anoa'i legacy forever. This is big. This is really big. And when you hear who's been pulling the strings behind the scenes, everything will make sense. So let me break this down for you. Roman Reigns' return wasn't just a comeback. It was the beginning of WWE's most dangerous era. We're looking at a new bloodline featuring Roman as the tribal chief, Jey Uso as the loyal enforcer, Jacob Fatu as the unstoppable destroyer, and Jimmy Uso as the strategic mastermind. This faction is preparing for a 2-front war against Solo Sikoa's SmackDown crew and Seth Rollins' Raw faction. The whole situation shows us that Roman Reigns is still the master manipulator, still the head of the table, and still the most dangerous man in WWE. His months-long absence wasn't weakness, it was preparation. What do you think really happened during Roman's hiatus? Am I crazy, or does this new bloodline theory make perfect sense? Are you ready for this 2-front war that's about to tear WWE apart? Drop your theories in the comments below, and let's get this conversation exploding. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because tomorrow I'm exposing the shocking truth about who's been secretly funding Solo Sikoa's faction. And trust me, when you find out who's really behind SmackDown's takeover, your jaw will drop. This involves WWE executives, family politics, and a betrayal so deep it could end the Anoa'i dynasty forever. And if you want more WWE conspiracy theories and insider information, check out this video where I revealed the real reason why Cody Rhodes has been avoiding the Bloodline storyline. The truth will shock you.